Hello, my beautiful ladies. Welcome in. Let's get right into this video because we are talking about how to wake your business up again using your life force energy. Welcome in, ladies. I'm so happy to be with you. And even if you do not have a business, even if you do not ever want to have a business, all of the principles and inner work that we do today, you will see that they also apply to every area of life, especially your love life. So I'm really excited to bring you this topic. If you feel that there's just the wheels of your business that they're stuck and you just need oil to get things moving, that's what this video is going to be for you. So the first thing that I want to share with you is a story. As I told you ladies last week, I have written a book. I'm so excited to share it with you. It took me a full year to write it, but I had a lot of blocks come up in that book. And that's some of the inner work that I'm going to be sharing with you here. However, there's a principle that I'm talking about in the book in one of the chapters on money and finances. And there's a story that I share, which when I was editing the book last week, I forgot about the story until I read it again. And I thought, I need to tell the girls because I don't think I've ever shared this with you. So maybe in 2021, 2022, this is when the feminine glow was just an idea, right? I was just making content on TikTok, teaching about feminine energy. And I didn't know that it would turn into a coaching business. I didn't know that I would be creating YouTube content like this. And at that time, I was working in marketing. I have a degree in marketing, and I was also working in a restaurant at night. Honestly, I loved the restaurant job more because I felt like I could play with my feminine energy. I could practice inner work. That could be a whole other video in itself. And what was happening during that time was I was working these two jobs because I did not have money. I was so broke. I was making about $350 from the restaurant part-time every week, and I was making maybe $800 at my marketing job, $600 to $800 every week. And so I did not have a lot of income. And I remember, so one thing to know about me, first of all, I have curly hair. This is not my normal hair. I just got a haircut yesterday. The second thing to know about me is I am an oldest daughter. I am typically very type A, very organized. I think many of you watching this, that is you. Don't worry, we're sisters together. And at this time, I was 21, 22, and I was thinking, how am I going to plan my retirement? I was listening to all of these financial advisors that were saying you need to start planning your retirement when you are 18, so that by the time you're 65, you can have $2 million in your savings account or in your retirement account. And so I was listening to all of this advice and I was getting stressed. I was thinking, okay, I don't have enough money to afford my life and put money into my retirement accounts. One night, I broke down and I was just crying and I was just praying with God. And I said, God, how can I put money in my retirement and still support my life? I'm so stressed financially. And he told me something that I was like, that's not the answer I was looking for, but thank God I trusted him. He told me, let the retirement account go. Don't worry about it right now. And so I trusted him and I said, okay, I'm not going to stress about putting money in the retirement account. He also told me this about my student loans. He said, don't focus on paying those right now. I need you to focus on the purpose that I have given you, which is teaching women about this inner work that will help their bodies and their minds heal and become free, just like you learned about. This is what God was saying to me. And so I said, okay, I'm not going to focus on putting money in my retirement account, not going to focus on paying off my student loans. I'm just going to focus on living in my purpose, doing what my heart loves, doing what makes my life force energy feel alive. And so that year was maybe 2021, 2022. The next year, I think 2023, the next year, I was not asking, how do I put money in my retirement account? I was still stressed about my retirement account, but for another reason, because I had put money in too much that I was not allowed. And now my stress became, dear financial advisor, how do I pull money out of my Roth IRA? Because I did not know that at a certain amount of income, you're not allowed to put money in here anymore. And so a year later, I had this is when I was making like $10,000 months where easily I could max out my Roth IRA. The max amount, and I promise this is the most boring part of this video, then we'll get into the juicy inner work. But this story, it blows my mind because the most you can put in a Roth IRA is I think $5,000 or $6,000 every year at that time. So I easily put in $6,000 in one day when my business started growing. And it's because I remembered, oh, I have extra income now. I don't need to worry about how I'm going to find the money. So I put the money in. I'm talking to my grandpa on the phone one day, and he goes, my grandpa's a genius with finances. And he goes, how much money did you make this year, sweetie pea? So he calls me, it's very cute. And I said, Grandpa, I am mind blown to even say this. $500,000. He was like, what? And I said, I know, God is good. I cannot believe this. And so that year, 2023 or 2024 is when this had happened. So of course I put money in my Roth IRA. My grandpa tells me, you are not allowed to put money in a Roth IRA after you make $150,000 a year or more. I had no idea. I was freaking out. I was like, shoot, okay. I emailed my financial advisor. We got it all taken care of super easily. I had to pull money out of that and put it in some other account. And then I sat back and I realized, God, you are so good because you told me don't stress about your retirement. To think that I was making, I don't know, maybe $2,000 I was making every month when I was really broke and struggling, $2,000 to $3,000. And I was trying to take that $2,000 or $3,000 and save like $200 this month, $300 this month to put into my retirement. I was so stressed. God said, let that go. The next year I could put $6,000 in one day. What happened in that time was there was a surrender. There was a trusting in God. There was a focus from being in my head, dropping back down into my body. Here's some of the inner work that we're going to get into now. And instead of taking that energy, how am I going to max my Roth IRA out? How am I going to pay my student loans off? Which also that was paid off in one day. I'm so grateful to even say this. But because I stopped and I surrendered and I got back in my body and I used my precious life force energy to focus on what I could create rather than how I can plan for 40 years in the future. That is what allowed me to pay off my retirement, not pay off, but pay into my retirement, pay off my student loans, have things like 6-figure months, have $1 million business. This is what I want for you. What is so dangerous about the world is the world will tell you to do things in all of these steps. When you're 18, pull money out, invest in your retirement account. These are not bad, but it's not great. And life is too short to not be great. So what your focus is going to be to bring your life force energy back into your business, back into your love life even, is to get out of your head, drop back into your body, and use your time, your energy, and your mental capacity to create. Because what you create will pay off everything that your mind can even stress about. You have to transfer that energy back into your body. And that's what this video is going to be teaching you how to do. And number one, so I've got 4 points for you here, 3.5 kind of. And the last one is going to be a science experiment that I read about last week that it blew my mind and I really had to think about it and soak it in. And I thought it'll be perfect to put together with this video. So there will be a little bit more of the boring science, but I promise I'll make it exciting. Okay, number one, as I said, move back into your body. This is how you get the oil for your wheels moving for your business. Until you are in your head, your life force energy will always be stuck. Because what is happening is all of your energy is here. How am I going to plan for my retirement? How am I going to start the LLC? How am I going to do my job and my business? What are other people going to think about me? When you're swimming in your head, your life force energy is down here where your womb is. So imagine all down here. That energy is saying, hey, can you come and play with me? But when you're up here, there is a disconnection from your mind and your body. When you're only swimming in your mind, you've shut off your life force energy. So how you can start to switch that? Let me give you some actual real life examples. What I did in about 2021, 2022 is so much changed during these years for me. That's why they all just kind of blend together. So what I started doing when God said, let the retirement go and just surrender to my plan, I said, okay. I remember there was one night, my family, we had all eaten dinner and they were just watching Netflix, and I brought my laptop down. And I remember this so vividly because it changed my life so much. I'm sitting on my stomach on the carpet and I just have my laptop open like this. And I'm on Pinterest and I create this board on Pinterest and I title it something like business owner outfit or business owner style. And I searched for about 30 minutes to an hour on Pinterest when I am running my dream business. I've always known that I want to have a business one day. When I'm running my dream business, how am I going to dress? What is my style? What is my aesthetic going to be? What this was doing for me, and I didn't know it at the time, I was just following with what my intuition said to do. What I was doing was I was putting my energy back into my body. I was feeling the desire that I expected to come. I was feeling what it would be like to be that business owner. How did I want to dress? How did I want my hair to be? Would I wear a little bit of makeup? Would I wear a lot of jewelry? Would I, how would I feel in my body? And everything that you put on a vision board, everything that you are desiring, it's not the physical substance that you desire, it is the energy of what that holds. And so for me, when I put on my vision board, I want to wear flowy outfits. I want to wear lots of colors. I don't want to wear blazers. I don't want to wear a lot of heavy jewelry. I don't even want to wear a lot of makeup. I just want to be natural. I want to feel flowy. I want people, if I'm sitting in a coffee shop working on my business, I don't want to seem like, what's the word that I'm looking for? I want to surprise people that I own $1 million business. That is what I wanted. I wanted my outfits and energy just to be free and to be light. As if someone was saying, you look like you just went to the beach or on a vacation. That is still my exact style now. It's the flowy dresses. It's just the natural look. Because I always thought that there was this belief, this limiting belief of to own $1 million business, I have to wear pencil skirts, I have to wear blazers, I have to wear heels. Now I'm literally barefoot right now. I have shorts on, I have this tank top on. I was breaking the rules in my mind for what a $1 million business owner looked like. And that freed up so many other rules and limitations. When you get into your body and you're playing with the rules that you think exist, that is when you break them. You will never break a rule in your head. You will only break them in your body. So that's one example, is just something like getting on Pinterest, swimming in that energy of what your desire feels like. Another example, I did this for my clothing brand Solista Wear, which I now closed as I'm going to the Solista Wear website. I did not mean to do this. Let me see if I can find the mood board that I made. So one day I sat down. Yes, oh my gosh. Okay, I've showed this to my business students and I'll show it to you. I sat down one day and I said, what do I want my dream loungewear brand to feel like? And this was, I think, 2021 at that time. And I went on Canva one day and I got all of these pictures from Pinterest, from Google, and I just put this random board together. And the thing about dropping into your body and turning that life force energy on, you cannot bring any rules. You cannot bring any organization. And so for type A girls, this is gonna be a bit tricky for you, but you have to break the rules of order. This is how you do things out of order and have things like $1 million business in 2 years, where the world would say this is supposed to take 10 years to build. When you do things out of order, the fruit of your labor will also appear out of order to the world. And so I created this board on Canva. And I said, when I create my loungewear brand, this is what I want it to feel like. And this is exactly what Solista Wear was like. It was feminine, it was bougie, it was sexy. And these are literally some of the pieces that I had, like the fur robes, the silk robes. I just wanted it to be glamorous. I wanted women to, this was during COVID when I was creating the brand, I wanted women to have a piece of loungewear that they could put on at home and it would bring their feminine energy to life, where they would walk different, they would cook their meals different, they would feel inspired to be with their partner in different ways, to create their business different ways. And so this mood board is what started my brand. Before that, I kept saying, I want to start a brand. I want to start a brand. I don't know anything about clothes or all of this, but I made this mood board. From that day on, the next day or the next week, I started messaging with suppliers. I started getting samples. I started feeling fabrics. The mood board is what opened up and unlocked that door that I could do it. And what the world will tell you is you need a degree, you need a qualification. I tell my students in the Glow Print, which is my coaching course, you do not need any qualification to become a coach other than you have healed, you have changed, you have transformed something in your life, and you have the blueprint that you can now give others. The world will tell you you need to be a certain age, you need a certain degree, qualification, you need to know about clothes and fabrics. You don't even need that for a clothing line. You just need the seed of your idea, which your life force energy will bring. This mood board, why it is so special to me, is because this removed the block from me taking action and moving forward. It will always start with you dropping into your body and creating something. I'm going to give you homework from this video. After this video, by the end of this week, today is Monday, so 7 days from now, whatever day you're watching this, create something, preferably on Canva or Pinterest. Something that just represents the desire for what you want to create, whether it's in your love life or your business. And what else did I say? Oh, and if you are wanting to be a content creator, an example of this would be filming videos that you're not going to post, but just filming videos to practice filming. Get dressed up, have an idea, have a concept that you want to talk about, and just speak to the camera. Because what's happening, why we stay in our head so much, is because our nervous system does not feel safe being cold and exposed in the open of the physical doing. And so when you're thinking, I want to be a content creator, I want to start this TikTok account or this YouTube channel, your nervous system will never let you do it until surrender and exposure are required to move into your body to bring that life force energy alive. Surrender, because even when you think about, okay, this is why I have the courses, because there's things that I want to say that I have to be careful on YouTube. Think about in an intimate setting when a husband and a wife are saying, I'm ready to make a family. What does the woman need to do in order for this to happen? She needs to surrender. If the woman is trying to give, she doesn't have the seed. God did not give the woman the seed to give. God gave the woman the egg to hold and to create. Your act of surrender, of saying, God, what do you want me to do in this season? What am I swimming in my head about that you're telling me to let go? When you surrender and you lean back and you just sit and let the ideas come, you have to sit and be rested for ideas to come. That is when you will know how and what to create. That is when you will birth your business, your idea, your project, whatever it is. So number one, your nervous system needs surrender. Number two, your nervous system needs exposure. 2 ways that you do this. Number one, watching someone else do it. God bless our mirror neurons. And number two is actually doing it yourself. So this one, for example, watching someone else do it. We live in a world where your rubber band can stretch every single minute of the day that you are watching someone else do something. As women, for example, my business students, when I share things like my income or other parts of my business, they will always tell me, Alexis, I did not know that this income level was possible. I did not know that it was this easy to make a business, that it was this easy to create. Because I show them I have done it, they now say I can do it too. Watching creators who are doing exactly what you want to do will give you a taste of that exposure. It will let your nervous system say this is safe and this is normal. And number two, it's actually doing it yourself. So the example where I was saying, if you want to be a content creator, why you should just sit down and film is because when you are doing it, your nervous system is going, we don't have that warm blanket of familiarity and comfort anymore. We've taken that blanket off. We're out in the cold. We don't know if we're going to die making this TikTok video. We've never done it before, but you do it. Your nervous system learns we won't die, and then you get to do it again. You don't even have to post. You just have to film. Stretch your rubber band slowly so that you can have the nervous system that says, all right, let's get into our body and do this. And I know I'm moving a little bit fast. It's because I have to keep this one a little bit shorter. One more note. I want to talk about romance for a little bit. There was something, this was one of my first videos on TikTok to go viral, maybe the third one to go viral. I was talking about how when you are waiting for a partner to come, when you desire to be in a relationship, something that you can do is to live in a way at home as if your partner is already here. For example, if you were in your dream marriage, what type wear just old t-shirts, I didn't really care about what I wore. Then I thought, my best self, like when I feel the most feminine, when I'm taking care of myself the most, I'm wearing silk loungewear. I'm wearing silk tank tops, night dresses. That is when I feel the best. I feel like it's a little taste of feminine energy to wrap myself up in and to wake up feeling good. And so when you are in this waiting season for a partner, do things right now as if your desire is already here. That is going to get your nervous system familiar and safe to say when the partner comes, you're ready to receive him. Even qualities in your dream partner, being unavailable when you're in public. Just practice. If you were in a relationship, how would you engage with men in public? I think something that's so fascinating to me is whenever I'm on my period, that is when men seem to come the most. It's always when I'm not feeling it, right? You know, when you're on your period, that is when your body is least fertile. It's least looking to mate. Why is it then that men are always attracted to that energy? And I know that this is true because many of you have commented and told me this is true when I've shared this before. What I'm realizing is that it's this energy of unavailability. And what that signals to men is, I already have it, so I'm not looking for it. That mindset of, I already have it, I don't need it. That is exactly what makes you attracted. That is why people who are in relationships, they always say, how come now that I'm in a relationship, everyone's coming and engaging with me? It's because your energy has switched. And when you are in the energy of it's already here, you are the match for it to actually be here and actually come and approach you. But when you're in the energy of, scarcity, I don't know when he's coming, I'm sad he's not here, I'm so lonely, I'm so single, what are you going to attract at that frequency? You're going to attract exactly how you are being. Scarcity, loneliness, availability, too much availability. You have to already swim and play in that desire. Even with your business, you have to already dress, you have to already show up, speak as if you are running the dream business. That's also how you can hack your nervous system and say, we already have it. This is already normal for us. And it starts with dropping into your body. Okay, let me check the comments and then we'll move to number 2. Yep. I'm glad my body woke me up at this time. It's 4:30 in the morning here. May, I love you. But I legit could not go back to sleep. This must have been it. Good morning, Alexis. Good morning to you, my girl. Super early morning. I always feel that waking up around 3 or 4, there's something that God is trying to say, I have something for you. Yep. Alexis, I absolutely loved your feminine energy course. It changed my life. Thank you so much. Greetings from Germany. Sophia, I'm so happy. Thank you so much. And I love your username, Sophia Glow Up. I'm so happy to hear this. I have 5 courses, and I think the one that you're talking about, Sophia, is Master Your Feminine Energy. I have 2 business courses as well. So those are Divine and Aligned and the Glow Print. Then I have a whole course for Life Force Energy, magnetically polarizing, and then I have a money course, the Gold Vault. If this video, if you're saying, I want more of this type of content, Divine and Aligned is going to be the best program for you. It's my entire program about how to run your dream business from start to finish. And not just the how do you set up the LLC, how do you get clients, how do you learn to raise your prices, but it's the inner work around feeling worthy, feeling excited, feeling inspired, how to have those downloads and those activations to say, I know exactly what I want to do and how to do it. Most of my business students, they walk away saying, My income raised higher than I ever thought it could, and my business changed completely. The idea that I had, I changed it, or I learned how to feel worthy to actually go after what I wanted, go after the clients that I wanted. So Divine and Aligned, it is personally my favorite program. Okay, number 2. This one is fun. So how to invite life force energy into your business is to bring beauty, excitement, novelty, and play. And we'll talk about each of these. What does this sound like when you are inviting beauty, play, novelty as in newness, and excitement? It sounds a lot like what you bring into a romantic relationship, right? Your business, this is something I tell my students, is like a masculine energy partner. And how you show up will change how your business shows up for you. It will change the ideas that your body gives you. It will change the momentum that you say, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm going to take action. When you treat your masculine energy well, and we talked about this on last week's live stream. Let me find the title of that for you. When you treat your masculine energy well, your masculine energy will treat you well. Think about in a relationship, when you give a man admiration and respect, the world is yours. This is with a healthy masculine man, of course. This is when men will want to step up, want to provide, want to give you safety, want to pour into you, want to just be so loyal and faithful and invest in you, is because he is getting a side of your feminine energy that makes his masculine energy feel so good. You also have to do this for your business, and that's what we're going to talk about. Last week's video was inner work for money blocks, feminine business secrets. Please watch that after if you have not. So what does this look like? Beauty. When you are going out on a date, the date to get ready for the date, you have to do this for your business. Because if you just show up, oh, I'll just get ready whenever I feel like it, you're never going to feel like it. 3 to 4 days a week is what my plan is right now, to where I am getting ready, like full makeup. For me, full makeup, it's not wearing foundation. Like right now, there's not a lot of makeup, but it's putting effort into my eyeshadow or my lip color or my blush. It's adding makeup where normally I would just wear mascara and brows. That's it. The days of the week, those 3 to 4 days where I'm putting in more effort into my hair, into my makeup, into my clothes, something always happens. I feel more inspired to create. I feel more inspired to film TikTok videos, to make changes in my business, because I'm showing up for the date. I'm adding beauty, and my masculine energy goes, we want to get to work. You're bringing so much beauty and so much feminine energy. Beauty, it's not just the outward appearance, it's anything that makes you feel good. So if you making a tea, I think I tell this to my business students in Divine and Aligned or the Glow Print, have something that when you make it, maybe it's your makeup, maybe it's a tea, it is your activation to say, we're ready to go. We're ready to take action. And so for me, I always make a tea before I live stream, because when I sit down, I think I'm ready to get to work. When I do my makeup, I'm ready to create. When you get ready for the date, I'm ready to have some fun. I'm ready to have some banter, to have some great conversations. You have to get ready so that your masculine energy can come and pick you up. And by come and pick you up, I mean make you get to work. And it will feel so good. Those days when you just have ideas coming out of nowhere, it's usually because your feminine energy is feeling good. Maybe you've gotten extra sleep, your body's feeling light and energized from the food that you're eating. Maybe you've just had a great romantic time with your partner, great conversation, and you just feel inspired, like I want to transfer this energy. That is the principle about energy, is that it can never be destroyed. It can only be transferred. And so when you transfer energy into you, by doing something that allows you to feel good, you have to transfer it out. And it usually becomes something fruitful that you create for your business. Excitement. When you are out on a date, hopefully, you feel excited to be there, right? Doesn't matter how long you have been with your partner for. For some reason, the live stream just froze and disconnected. So, hey, field trip to my living room. I'm so happy to see you all again, because this last part is really important. Okay, I'll try to check the chat again to just make sure that it doesn't go out. Okay, welcome back everyone. Okay, Universe 25. Quick recap, if you've just joined the live, we have talked about 3 principles so far about bringing life force energy back into your business. Number 1, moving from your head to your body, and you can rewind the live stream in case you missed it. Number 2, bring beauty, excitement, novelty, and play. Just like a relationship, you bring it back to your business. And number 3, you must decide. You must go all in. Because when you're in limbo, you cannot be fertile with your business. All right. I cannot believe this live stream. You just have to work with it sometimes, right? Okay, Universe 25. This scientific experiment by John B. Calhoun, this was done in the 1960s, 1970s. And I actually listened to the recap of this experiment last week, and I thought, I'm going to need to share this with the girls, but I need to figure out in what inner work we'll be talking about to share this. So long story short, there was an experiment done to see what would happen when all survival needs are met. And so this experiment was done with rats. And John B. Calhoun, he created this perfect rat utopia, this perfect rat environment. And he started with 4 rats. And it was either mice or rats. And he puts the rats in this experiment, and he gives them all of the needs that they could have, which was food and water. So because they had a perfect endless supply of food and water, the mice started procreating. They started populating. Something very interesting began to happen. And so when the repopulation began, overcrowding began to happen, of course, because they're just creating at such a fast rate. But then the male mice withdrew, and the male mice began to be very passive. So they didn't want to mate with the female mice or the rats. They just wanted to not do anything. Only sleeping, eating, and grooming themselves. Okay, imagine a society where men are just wanting to groom themselves and not pursue feminine energy. I think some people are living in this society right now. What had happened was they had lost their spirit and they became violent. The male mice actually started attacking the other mice. And the reproduction stopped. The desire to mate stopped. So the mites started dying off slowly. There was no more reproduction happening, and there was a lot of violence. So the mice started dying slowly. Even when the space freed up and there wasn't all of this overcrowding, the mice still did not repopulate. They still did not get back to normal, where they had that drive and that passion. And so what Calhoun concluded was that when all physical needs are met and there is a space that becomes overcrowded, the first death is not a physical death. It is a death in the spirit. It is a loss of momentum. It's a loss of life force energy. The second death is the extinction of the whole population. So by the end of this experiment, all of the mice had died. And what Calhoun coined the term for this result is as a behavioral sink. And so we'll come back to this term in just a minute. What I started thinking about, because a lot of people, they were saying that the purpose of this experiment was to talk about overpopulation and overcrowding and to warn humans against too much overpopulation of the earth. However, I started thinking there's something else that this experiment shows, and it's that when all of our basic needs are met, when we have an abundance of materials, we lose life force, we lose momentum. My girls that are already business owners, I know this is gonna resonate with you. You know that when your business is set up and everything's going smoothly and you have the income that is great for you, you have the clients that are great, something happens where there's almost this, and it happened at about a year and a half of running my business for me. There's this boredom that sets in and you lose momentum because you're too comfortable. And I started thinking about something, this behavioral sink that Calhoun saw and concluded. This happens to us in our business when there is no challenge, when everything is too comfortable. And so this one is especially for my girls who are already business owners, or you are living a life that is very comfortable. You must create challenge in order to get your life force energy moving. When we have everything too easy in life, the perfect example of this, you know, when you're playing a video game, I used to play GTA with my brothers. It's a different era. I used to play GTA, and my brothers would give me these cheat codes for the video games where I could have any airplane that I wanted. I could have any car that I wanted. I could have all the money in my bank account. I stopped playing the game. It became so boring for me. Versus when I was working on missions and I was actually, like, my character was working to make money. She was working to get an okay car, and then maybe she would work hard, build her bank account, and then upgrade her car to a nicer one. And I would see people driving helicopters and planes and be like, one day that'll be me. I just love to play and run around on the map. Well, that was so much more fun than when I had the cheat codes. I had all of the money in the world. I had all of the material possessions in the world. I became bored and I lost my spirit. My spirit died in the game. And then my physical ability playing the game died second. This applies to your business. Not that when you have abundance, your spirit will die, but you must always have challenges. Otherwise, you will not be stimulated. You must always have goals in your business. Otherwise, you will lose drive. And so anytime I get bored, I realize I'm so focused on me that I need to be focused on who can I serve? What is it that the Glow Girls need, and how can I serve them the best? That is why I'm always going into the courses. Ladies, what questions do you have? How can I help you better through this? Building your business, unlocking your life force energy. Even on YouTube, I'll put the polls on my stories sometimes. Ladies, what do you want to see from me from Instagram? That's because I need inspiration, because I've been so comfortable creating what's easy for me to talk about. But there's topics you want me to talk about that may still be a stretch for me. That is what prevents that behavioral sink. That is what gives me the drive and the momentum. And so in your business, a great way to do this is if you want to grow your income, maybe right now you're capped at $5,000 a month. You are going to almost hack your brain and say, uh-oh, red flag, we're making $5,000 a month. This is not our normal. We're supposed to be making $10,000 a month. And so actually you're below the red. You hack your mind to say we are below the red, we are out of abundance. We need to be doing more. We need to be reaching this goal. And that will give your body a challenge where you take away the unlimited food and water and say, okay, now I have something to work towards. With your, if you're just starting a business, what you can say is, uh-oh, I'm not creating every day, or uh-oh, I don't have any clients right now. So I'm actually in the red and I need to do something that will get me back to being safe. You have to train your mind that being comfortable, being liked, that's not safe, that's in the red. Being uncomfortable, doing something that is putting me closer to my goal, that is bringing my life force energy to life, that is my norm. Okay, so that is our fourth point. And I am going to cut the part out where it was frozen. So if you want to watch this back, it'll be a lot smoother for you. Any questions that you have now, please send them my way. And I'll recap these points again. So move back into your body. Number 2 is bring the beauty, the excitement, the novelty, and the play. And number 3 was, have you fully decided on a business? Have you fully decided that the dream, the plan that you have, you are going to go all in on it? Because being in limbo, it will suck your energy dry. And you have no room to even grow a seed and to actually birth that seed. And then this experiment with Universe, it was called Universe 25, talks about the behavioral sink. When we have all of our basic needs met, our spirit dies. Gus, no biting. Practicing my gentle parenting. Hi, buddy. This really resonates. I am so happy to hear this. There were some great questions that I saw above. Let me come back up to these. Hi, bud. Ooh, I'm also a business owner, and lately I'm always sick. Could this be because I was in fight or flight for so long? I struggled with burnout a lot. Absolutely. If your body was stressed, your immune system is weak. I actually think that the sickness comes after some of the healing has began. It's your body's way of saying, okay, finally we can let go and we can take some time off to rest a little bit. So your job first is going to be, how can I feel safe in my body? How can I reset my nervous system? Let me see a good video that I could recommend for you on this. Okay, I'm going to throw a link into the chat for you. I want you to watch this video. It's titled on my channel, How to Get Out of Survival Mode and Back into Your Body. That will help you so much, because I think when we are running in our head, we're so stressed. And I read this quote, it said, I knew many problems in my life and most of them never happened. When I read that, I thought, oh my gosh, how much time we spend playing out scenarios, running these thoughts in our minds that never even happen. They only happen here. So I'm going to help you in this video get out of running here so that your body can rest, so that your immune system can become stronger again, and you can get back into your body. And I plan on making the feminine energy refresh and detox video very soon. I said I need to cut my hair first because my hair doesn't feel so healthy. I'm talking about a lot of hair health in there. So I'll be filming that very soon. Yes. Okay, first of all, I'm so excited for you. So Liv says, I feel excited about the potential of my business, that it makes me anxious and overwhelmed of it potentially not working out. How do I transform this? Myron Golden says something so good. To stop anticipating, or to stop being anxious about what you don't want to see as an outcome, and to start anticipating what you do want to see as an outcome. The inner work for you is going to be so easy. Direct your attention to what you anticipate rather than what you fear will overwhelm you and won't work out. Wherever you put your attention is where you are putting your energy. Think about where your feet are planted. When your feet are planted in one direction, can you go to the left? You can, but it's going to be very difficult. It's not going to feel natural. So the feet of your mind, you must point them in the direction of the anticipation of what will work out. Step number one, when we're talking about moving back into your body, doing things like building the Pinterest board of what your style will look like when you're running your business, getting the mood board together for the aesthetic of your brand. Those things are going to take you from I'm overwhelmed of it not working out, and that's not the direction that I want to go in, so I'm not going to point my feet that way. I'm going to point my feet here. This is what I anticipate. And that is where your energy will start to go. You have to be so conscious to catch those thoughts, because it's just a thought, but it will turn into a seed, and that seed will block your action if you let it grow. And that's the crazy thing about thoughts, is we let them. We let those thoughts turn into seeds that grow up as weeds, and now we're tangled in the weeds. Like, I don't know how to get out. This is not the outcome that I wanted. Chop the weeds, remove the parts of your life that you do not like. My mom would always tell me, if you don't like where you are, move. You're not a tree. I used to hate when she told me that growing up. But then I grew up and I thought, yeah, I don't like working 2 jobs. I don't like doing something where I don't feel excited to wake up every day. I don't like struggling financially. And there was a point where I realized no one is going to save me. I must face the fear to create. Gus Gus. Gus Gus is alive and energized today. Ah, yes. Alexis, God gave me the idea to write an ebook on feminine leadership. It feels aligned, but I'm struggling to be consistent on creating content. It feels like a chore. Any tips? Yes, you have to make it fun again. TikTok felt like a chore for me for the longest time. And then I thought, why does it feel difficult? There were 2 reasons for me. Number one is because I don't want to say I struggle, because I'm not going to decide that. I enjoy long form content like this. This is where I feel, I love the depth that we can get into. Where a 2-minute TikTok, it's very, very hard to get into depth. So that was creating a block for me. But there was another block where I felt like it was a chore. So you know what I did? As I said, one of the days that I get dressed up, right? Where my makeup is done, my outfit is done, I am going to make this fun. Where I'm going to set a timer. I'm going to put 10 minutes on the clock. How many TikToks can I make in 10 minutes? Use a little bit of that masculine energy structure like a timer and make it fun, make it easy for yourself. Even provide a reward for yourself after if you need. So for me, if I know I'm really hungry for lunch soon, I'm not gonna go and make my delicious, nourishing lunch until I nourish my TikTok account first. That's what you're going to do with your ebook. Use those timers. Timers are my favorite masculine tool in the world, as you ladies know, and make it easy for yourself. Eliminate the time between thinking and doing. Close that gap. One of my friends who was talking about writing a book, I told her, you must make it the first thing that you do every single day. Otherwise, you're not going to do it. You will put other work, other responsibilities, other socialization before your project, and now your project gets the least amount of your energy and bandwidth. Well, I guarantee you, writing your ebook, especially if you know this is what you're supposed to be talking about, feminine leadership, this is going to be fun for you. But when you're using the last 1% of your energy at the end of the day, it's not going to feel fun, no matter what you're doing. That's why live streaming, even now, it's the first thing that I do. I have not touched my emails, I have not opened Slack, because this is what I want to give my best to. Yep. Alexis, you keep mentioning Joe Dispenza as being influential in your inner work journey. How have you incorporated this? Hello, Linda. Beautiful question. Dr. Joe Dispenza, he talks about so many ranges of topics, from neuroscience, quantum physics. He has a lot of spirituality concepts that I don't take information from. However, his neuroscience, I think, is gold. He talks about how to reprogram the thoughts in your mind. So for example, when I was reading his book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, he talks about how when we have a certain way that we are being, so for example, maybe, okay, in my past, I would feel that I was so anxious in relationships. I would feel that until I got security from my partner, I didn't know if I was safe in that relationship. I didn't know if my partner was choosing me. And when I started to see that every thought we have, we are choosing. That every time we think a thought, we are wiring a neural pathway that grows that thought as a tree branch in our mind. And when we think that thought again and again, that branch becomes stronger, it grows more branches, and now that tree is what is guiding how we show up. When I started to learn about how neuroscience worked, I thought, I have the power to change those trees in my brain. So when my partner's not texting me back and I get the thought, he's leaving me, he doesn't want to talk with me, I catch that thought and say, that's not the tree that I want to grow. Cut. And I replace that thought with, he's busy, and I love that I have a partner that has such a full and complete life. I love that he's out there making money and providing. This inner work I was doing in about 2021, 2022, and that changed my life. This is how I did things like change my attachment style, change the prices that I charge in my business, change the content that I create. I changed those neural pathways first. So I think he is brilliant with neuroscience. Yes, okay, beautiful question. I wanted to ask, how do you say no to someone after 1 or 2 dates, especially if they are in love with you but you are not attracted to him? Great question. Okay, here's what you're going to do. You're going to start off by saying something like, I love the time that we've had together and I really respect your time. I want to be honest with you. I don't feel that this connection is what I am looking for. You are the best. You are going to find a partner who is the best, and I wish you the best on your journey. Something like, take care. So it's almost like the compliment sandwich. If you've ever studied psychology, you know this. You start off with something positive, put in the boundary, and then end it with something positive. That's how you can end things with a man gentle, kindly, respectfully. Of course, it doesn't have to be that long. You can say, hey, I just don't feel a connection here and I wish you the best. But if that man has invested time into you, if you guys have gone out, if you have had a connection but you just are not attracted to him, just be honest, you don't see the connection growing, or the connection is not what you're looking for. I think we're so scared to do this because we don't want to hurt men's feelings. But men never do this for women. When I realized this, that's when I became more savage about having boundaries, because I thought, you know what? When men don't want to pursue something, they just don't. And so we have to incorporate this in our dating life. It's actually the kindest thing that you can do to him, rather than continuing things when you don't want to. Yes. Okay, let's see. We have our last Glow Girls book club this Sunday, and I'm so sad. We do it every fall where we pick a fantasy romance series and we read it, and the series that we're reading is just so good. It's called This Woven Kingdom, and I don't want it to end, even though next month is summer. It's time to wrap it up. Talitha, I love this name, girl. Talitha, I've taken your advice on board, or I've taken your advice on board from a previous video, and literally I've been cutting those thoughts. My man now rings me out of the blue daily and is chasing me, so to speak. It's so freeing just to receive. I love this for you, and I'm so happy for you. Isn't it crazy that it's the same relationship? And I love that you're sharing this because it's such a whole rubber band stretch for the community. Same relationship you're in, you are still the same. All it was a switch. When you get back into your body, you decide, I am very desirable in a relationship. I'm so worthy of being pursued. And you show up that way, how it inspires your partner to pursue more, to call you more, to chase you more. I love that for you. Okay, ladies, I am gonna have to wrap it up now. I love you so much. I'm so sorry about those internet issues earlier. Thank you so much. Those of you who are checking on the sound with me and just letting me know, I appreciate you so, so much. And I already can't wait to see you in the next week. So again, watch last week's live stream on feminine energy business secrets. That'll be a great one to pair with this video. And let me know what content you would like to see next. I've been loving making the business videos, so I'm happy to keep making these. I love you all so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, ladies.